What's going on, everybody? This is Jordan with Conquer Trading and Investing. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're not, welcome back. This is going to be a really exciting session. Actually, it's going to be a fun session at the same time because we're riding those summertime waves and they are really providing some great rides. Now, I want everyone, we're going to start over here. We're going to be getting into, by the way, for those paying attention, we're going to be looking at gold. We're going to be looking at silver. We're going to be looking at long-term take profit levels. We're going to be looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum. We're going to be looking at WTI crude oil, and we're going to be looking at the NASDAQ and S&P 500 over here in this afternoon recap. By the way, thanks for being here. If you're here, smash the like button. Thanks for supporting the channel. I do appreciate that. S&P 500 is approaching our target. Our target is 33.39. You can see that we are just now currently about 9 points away from that target. Listen, anyone who took profit today into the close, get on you. Good move. If we start making any lower lows on the 8-hour time frame, exit the trade. It's time to get a trade. You could put a stop in here, right here at 33.18. Now, listen, why this is the target, it is possible that this momentum, an object in motion, tends to stay in motion. It's completely reasonable if by the end of the week there's some type of miracle and all of a sudden the elected officials in the USA start actually fighting and providing for the people, that we get some type of stimulus details worked out, or perhaps even, I doubt it, but an executive order from the president himself canceling out payroll taxes. Whatever may take place, it is possible that we break our final summer take profit target of 33.39. You have the resistance over here, and then that above it. Is it possible that price is able to be and reach one of those levels? Of course it is. You don't need to get the top. Right? Listen, you also have all-time high over there. All-time high. We are one stimulus program away from reaching new all-time highs on the S&P 500. That's fine. What we're looking at over here now, and why this is our summer take profit area, is because the equity markets right here, we're running into some pretty strong confluence of resistance. It's time to exit the trade. It's time for us to go neutral. Historically, the first 3 weeks of August tend to see a little bit of a downdraft here on the equity markets. A neutral is a strong position because it allows you to wait objectively for the right time to get back in. What's that going to be for us? Most likely that's going to be a test over here of this sport at 32.32. That's coinciding with that sloping trend line over here. This has been our line in the sand. Above this, we have been uber bullish. That remains the case. Again, we're not looking there now. I'll walk you through it. If we start breaking down technically, at that point, we'll get everyone huddled together and we'll be looking to attack to the downside, but that's not happening right now. Stop trying to pick the top. Listen, I hear people selling puts on the NASDAQ today. NASDAQ trading right around all-time highs over here. Market's bullish, getting ready to kick off maybe even further on some stimulus news. Really? All right, I just want to keep you all on the right side of the market. I talked about is a good time to get out of the NASDAQ over here as the S&P comes into our take profit zone over here. Look, I'm not saying that's the high, 33, 39. Again, maybe we hit that resistance or this one. Those are the likely targets. What else do we have going on over here? This morning, there were a lot of people looking at WTI. They were looking to get involved here. I thought it was a good time. I tried to talk everyone down off the ledge. There's nothing going on WTI that's attractive. You are going nowhere and nowhere fast. There's so much going on in the markets. It's absolutely a beautiful summer. There's so many traders following this channel. Go ahead, smash that like button if you're one of them who have been on the right side of the market for months and are doing extraordinarily well and are really happy. That's a good place to be. Oil is not a trade for us. I want everyone to continue to just realize what the environment we're in and where there is opportunity. Speaking of which, gold here, we're going to take we're going to take a good look, we're going to have a little conversation here about gold and silver, and we're going to do that in just a moment. Before we do that, because it's all related, let's check in on what's going on in Bitcoin. Bitcoin here continues to hold this support over here. Yesterday's afternoon video, we looked at that line of support, why it was there. We were consolidating on it, saying that looked uber solid. And now we are breaking out of there. What's next on Bitcoin? What are some upside targets that we're looking at? By the way, we are just entering the Bitcoin bull market. That happened on the break of this trend line down over here. Okay? Listen, you should only be looking to accumulate Bitcoin. You should be looking to accumulate. This bull market is just getting started. The next 18 months are going to be really fun. Do not try to trade your Bitcoin. Do not try to, like, if we hit 14,000, take some profit, think you're going to get a 30% correction and be able to get back in. A lot of people, unfortunately, are going to be trying to trade Bitcoin, and they're going to be buying back in at much higher prices. You will see some violent moves to the upside during this bull market. Now, we also will see some 30% corrections. If you're not invested into Bitcoin, is now a good time to buy Bitcoin? In my opinion, 11,000, 12,000, 14,000, 15,000, 17,000 Bitcoin is all cheap, right? What I am doing now, I'm fully positioned in. I am not adding any more Bitcoin trades until we break or test 14,000. And then once we have our first 30%, once we have our first 30% drawdown, as this bull market has started, I'll be loading up at that point. Now, I don't know whether or not we break 14,000, right? We have some pretty strong resistance in this area. I don't think we do on the first shot, but if we do, right, I'm just gonna wait. Maybe we hit 17,000 before we have our first 30% pullback. I don't know when it will be. I cannot predict the future. I have a really good read on these charts for whatever reason, but here what we're looking at, and I just want everyone on the same page. It's not that I believe we're going to 14,000 and then automatically we'll have a 30% pullback. I just don't believe the first 30% pullback comes until we test 14,000, and it could be there or any point above. That's going to be the first pullback. The first pullback in a bull market is one that you want to be involved in. The first pullback as price reaches all-time highs is one that you want to be involved in. Speaking of gold, we're going to go back to gold in 1 second. I want to be very clear about one thing for everyone here. It's very important for me that my family, that my team is all on the same page. We understand the 4-year cycle of Bitcoin. We understand the bull market phase and the bear market phase within that. We have our sights somewhere in the winter of 2021 as our exit from Bitcoin. That's not the same thing as gold and silver. When I speak of gold, I'm speaking of precious metals. I'm speaking of both gold and silver right now. We're not looking for an exit, and I have no idea when that exit's be. Right now, we just simply have no exit, whether it's price or whether it's time-based on precious metals. Once growth starts returning to the U.S. economy, at that point, we might think of diversifying out of some precious metals, lightening up on our positions, taking profits. Right now, longer term, is 3,000 gold something that we probably will be seeing sometime in 2021? I think that's pretty reasonable, right? What about on silver? Are we looking at $50 silver in 2021? Maybe. I mean, I think we're looking at 35 silver next, right? We have the next resistance level right now. That's 29.50, right? Above that, when we do break above that, it's not going to be a straight line up. It's not going to be a straight line up. We'll have periods of consolidation. We'll have periods of pullback on silver, 7 to 15% pullbacks on silver. Those are good ranges to start building a position back in and adding to it. We're targeting 35. I think that we're going to come up and test 50. Yeah, I think in this bull market, we're going to come up and test 50. I think that we break 50, right? $100 silver seems reasonable. Bank of America putting out now, Bank of America for the last month, really bullish on both gold and silver. They're talking about putting a $50 price target on silver. Yeah, that's fine. You could do that. We're not looking We're not looking until we see growth starting in the United States to even think of positioning out of precious metals. Actually, what we're looking at over here in precious metals, we're looking at a huge increase here of the Fed's balance sheet, further stimulus coming. What are we do? What's going to happen here? These things, the bull markets are just beginning. Gold making new all-time highs. Silver not even close. Silver's got a long way to go. It's going to be a long ride. I want people to be along for the ride and ride that wave and get as most out of it as possible. I don't want people getting left behind. Yeah, silver has come pretty far pretty quickly. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. Why do I say that? What happened? How much is what's the Fed's balance sheet? It's $7 trillion, $7 trillion right now. Are we going to 10 trillion by the end of the year? There's a really strong possibility of that. We looked this morning at the Fed talking about they're looking to really run the economy hot. They're talking about Janet Yellen, former Fed chair, talking about that it looks like soon, within a few months, we should see further expansion of the Fed's balance sheet. $10 trillion by the end of the year. That I would not be surprised whatsoever. 2021, is it possible that we work towards a $20 trillion balance sheet? Of course it is. Hold on to your precious metals. Ethereum, looking very good ever since we started that bull market. When did we start that bull market? When we broke this, we had it at 358, 360 resistance over here. Now tested, turned support, resuming offward, working its way back here towards the spike high at 415. What are our price targets to the upside? The next resistance is 514 on Ethereum. Beyond that, we're looking at this area between 832 and 7, just call it 800, right? That's our next level. Those are the next two resistance areas that we're looking at. Ethereum, stay along for the ride. This has all been a dollar story. And when I say it's all been a dollar story, we continue to see that dollar weaken. Let's go down to the 8-hour time frame. By the way, the 8-hour time frame, whether you're trading Forex, right? Whether you're trading foreign exchange, whether you're trading gold, Bitcoin, silver, trade the 8-hour. It is the best time frame. It's going to filter out a lot of market noise, and it's still going to give you that longer edge. Much better than the daily. Much more accurate than the daily. If you're not yet profitable, one of the best and easiest changes you can make is start only focusing on the 8-hour time frame. It's going to pay off big time. Look over here. We've had a double bottom over here that we see on the DXY. Look at that test over there, right? Yeah, that's just getting warmed up. Are we going to take that out? If we do, we're going to see a significant decline over here. We'll be coming into let's call it 91. 86 over here is our next area of support. And then we have stronger support down at 90.38. If we lose this area that we probed and tested, I think that's our next target on the DXY. That's going to make a lot of sense because whether or not that stimulus is passed by the end of this week or not, one way or another, it's coming and it's coming soon. And that's just one piece of the piecemeal. Watch, we have an election coming up in a few months. What's going to happen, right? I just want to keep everyone on the right side of the market. There are not too much charts that I want to go over with you today. Let's take a look over here. By the way, this is interesting, so I'll pull it up. What is interesting, we are seeing over here, the silver mining supply has declined, and there are a few projects in the pipeline, supply and demand, and you could see over here the decline in the mining supply of silver. Interesting, right? A lot of people are expecting that as infrastructure projects do pick up, specifically green energy, right? To make solar panels, you do need silver. There is that industrial utility for silver, and trade accordingly, people. Trade accordingly. There are not too many charts that I want to go over with you today, but nevertheless, there are a couple of interesting ones for us to look at. Let's take a look together. Yep, let's spend a moment here. Let's spend a moment over here. You could see the Robinhood traders, as we forecasted and expected, are picking up on silver and gold. They're working their way towards the top 10 holdings of the Robinhood traders. They got some decent holdings in here. I don't see Bitcoin. Obviously, that's going to change, but they are lagging behind that. I don't know what happened to Tesla either. I'm going to look at Tesla with you in just a moment because Tesla is actually consolidating pretty nice now. It becomes interesting. Once again, we'll see if there's any trades setting up there. What else do we want to look at over here? Listen, the risk to reward, by the way, the risk to reward on the equity markets is just not there anymore, right? It's just not there anymore. Let's take a break. The fall is going to be exciting. September, get ready. It's a good position to be neutral. We want to pick up any test of this trend line over here. If we get it during the summer, I'll be giving you a heads up. Until then, we're just going to kind of like back off a little bit and put our focus where it should be. I said I wanted to look at Tesla with you. And by the way, we'll focus over here on Tesla first. You could see, I had that circled. You could see now ever since this last big expansion upwards, we have since been consolidating. It looks like Tesla's getting to a point now where it's ready to make a move. That move obviously could be one of two ways, up or down. What do we think it's going to be? Well, you know what? That's a hard one. Why is it a hard one? I'm looking at the S&P running into resistance, right? I'm looking at what time it is seasonally of the year. Listen, price alone tells the story. I would prefer another test of this trend line we have over here, this support that we got building over here, and any test into that, and then a resumption off. That looks like a good entry into Tesla. Will we get that? I don't know. I'm watching this consolidation and I see Tesla's getting ready for a move. It could easily be to the upside. I don't have a play on it. I'm just going to watch it because it's becoming interesting now. And I just wanted to focus anyone who is involved in Tesla. I just want to focus their attention now on it as it's getting ready, it looks like, to make a move. By the way, it's nice to see the Dow leading to the day. Dow is up 1.25% today. We're looking at the S&P up 0.5% today, and we're looking at the NASDAQ unchanged, slightly up on the day, 0.03%. It's nice to see as the NASDAQ is reaching all-time highs, the rotation into the Dow. That's very healthy. Ideally, we would like to see all three markets making new all-time highs. As we just have the NASDAQ making new all-time highs, we don't yet have the Dow taking out the June high, and we have the S&P, which already taken out the June high. Now has its sight on the all-time high. When and if that happens, I don't know. My gut tells me the fall. Let's wait to September over here. It's time to start taking some profit and getting on the sidelines over here. Not to say some fresh stimulus can't push this up higher than we expected. The risk to reward is not there whatsoever. But I am happy to see the Dow leading the way up today. I would love to see it test and even break the June high. Whether or not it could hold in this environment over here, I'm not really sure. I wouldn't want to be invested in it, but I do want to see all three indexes working towards making new all-time highs. That will be really healthy. At the end of the day, the Fed is blowing an asset bubble right now. The Fed is printing money. What do assets do? Stocks go up, Fed is printing. I've seen everywhere all these investment desks calling for a 10% correction. They've been trying to call the top. I look around YouTube and you see all this fear porn for going on months now, and people are just losing money and getting wrecked. If you're new to the channel, subscribed. I'm going to do my best to keep you on the right side of the market. If you've had that experience where I've kept you on the right side of the market these last few months, please do me a favor. Just let us know in the comments below. Thanks for sharing. Listen, I know that we do this for free. I know that we're sharing a wealth of knowledge for free. I'm happy to do it. Yesterday, reading your comments, I shared them with my wife. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Happy to be on this journey with you. Everyone, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow.